Okay, so I want to give the solutions to last year's exam too. Um, a lot of these are cloud coder exercises, so let's look at those. I went ahead and put these in here as practice exam 2. Um, and so for each of these, I'm going to go ahead and load it, count num between, and I'll go ahead and link it over to here, count num between, bam. Okay, so let's do this. So count the number that are between A and B. So greater than or equal to A and less than or equal to B. This is a counting problem. And I've got an integer array, so I know right away I'm going to need to start some count out at 0. Now I need a for loop. I++. And then I want to say if array of I is greater than or equal to A and array of I guess be less than or equal to B, count plus plus, and then I guess I return count at the end. Let's see if that works. Nope, I missed. Oh, right, okay. Let's see what we got. Haha! Good, okay. So that's how to do that one. I'm going to go ahead and reset this so that I have this ready to go. So that's the first one. Same number of positives as negatives. Let's try that next. Same number of positives as negatives. And once again, we'll copy this. We'll paste this in here. Nope, there we go. Same number of positives as negatives. So, same number of positives as negatives. Oh, wait, is this year's? Or last year's? Huh. Huh. Well, I don't know. Let's do this. I'm going to actually do a really neat trick here. So there's two ways I could do this. One, I could actually just count the number of positives as negatives and then return if it's the same. Another way is I can actually just have a counter, and every time I see a positive I add 1, and every time I see a negative I subtract 1. So watch this. Count equals 0. For int I equals 0, I less than array dot length, I plus plus. Now we're going to say if array of I is greater than 0, I'm going to add 1 to count. Else if array of I is less than 0, less than 0, I'm going to do count minus minus, and then I'm going to return whether count is equal to 0. Let's see if that works. I am a genius. Look at that. Let me remember to reset that. Same number of evens. Do two arrays have the same number of evens? That's interesting. Okay. Count equals 0 for int I equals 0, I less than array 1 dot length, I plus plus. If array of I is even, mod 2 equals 0, count plus plus. Now watch this. I'm going to do the same thing. Int I equals 0, I less than array 2 dot length, I plus plus. And then I'm going to watch this. This is going to be awesome. If array of I mod 2 is 0, count minus minus. So I'm adding 1 for each one in array 1 that's even, and I'm subtracting 1 from the same counter for each thing in array 2 that's 0, and I'm going to return whether count is equal to 0. That's interesting. Oh, you know what? Because this isn't called array. This is called array 1 and array 2. Awesome. Oops, let's go back to that one. Same number of evens. I do want to reset it. Yep. Perfect. Supersum positives. Oh, cool. So a 2D array, and I want to count the number of positives throughout the whole thing. This is easy. Int count equals 0. It's easier than it seems. For int I equals 0, I less than array.length, I plus plus. For int j equals 0, j less than array of I dot length, j plus plus. And now I'm going to say if, no, am I counting? What the hell am I doing again? Counting the number of positives. So if array of I of j is greater than 0, count plus plus. I think I'm just returning that. Yeah, okay. So I'm iterating through. This is giving me sort of the first array, the first layer of arrays, which sort of I is now counting out rows you can think of, and j is counting out columns. This isn't assuming that it's square or rectangular. It's assuming that each row might have some different number of columns, and then if I see anything greater than 0, I add 1 to the count, and then I just return it. Let me remember to reset that. Good. Oh, I should also load that and then link it. Supersum positives. Great. And how about no duplicates? Let's try that next. Nope. Here we go. No duplicates. Load. Takes an array of ints and returns true if there are no duplicates in the array. Okay. This actually requires 2 loops. Watch this. I'm going to say for int, int I equals 0, I less than array dot length I plus plus. So now array of I is a particular element. Now watch this. For int j equal I plus 1, j less than array dot length j plus plus. And I'm going to say if array of I equal array of j, that means I've found a duplicate and I can immediately return false. At the very end of the loop, I can return true. So I'm saying int I equals 0, I less than array.length I plus plus. So I is kind of going through each element. And then for each element, I'm then looking at everything starting at the element after it all the way through. So like I is 1, and then j is going to start to do 2, and then 3, and then so on. Then I would give us, I will be 1, so that would be element number 2, j would go through the rest of it. So I is sort of fixed at something, and j is starting at the thing after I, and then checking. And if you ever see something where array of I equal array of j, we're returning false. Let's see if that works. Totally does. Cool. So that does require 2 loops. Let me remember to reset that. Cool. So, oh, and then connect 4. This was basically trying to figure out if you had 4 in a row in connect 4. For some reason, I didn't save that problem, probably because I was having such a heck of a time writing test cases. We were using a 2-dimensional array to represent a connect 4 game board. That was not so good. Let's do the reading and understanding code. So what does the following mystery function do? Summarize in 1 or 2 sentences. Well, let's see. I've got a number. I'm starting out x at 0. I'm doing 0 less than or equal to the number. And I'm adding to x I plus 0 divided by the number. So this is really just taking this integer I and converting it to a double and then adding it. So let's see. And I want, let's see, what do I want? I want Comic Sans, and I'll put it in blue. So this looks like it's doing, so for some number, So for some number n, we're computing 0 over n plus 1 over n plus ... plus n over n. I guess we can also include sort of n minus 1 over n plus etc. That's what we're actually computing, it looks like, because we're starting I out at 0, which means less than or equal to number. Yeah, that's about right. So what does the following mystery function do? Well, let's see. We got a two-dimensional array. We're starting x out at 0. We're iterating through rows and columns. But for the columns, we're going from 0 to the column minus 3. And then within that, we're looking at starting at column and less than column plus 4. So C, C plus 1, C plus 2, C plus 3. And if those are 1s, we're adding 1 to count. And then after this inner loop, anytime count gets to 4, we're doing x plus plus. So it's looking for... so we're... Oh, let's try this. Count the number of times that 4 1s occur in a row. No, in a row is a little bit ambiguous. Occur consecutively in each array of a 2D array of ints. So we're counting the number of times we see sort of 1, 1, 1, 1. That's what this is doing, and so that's where the C less than array of r minus dot length minus 3, because this is going to be sort of jumping up ahead up to k less than c plus 4. So that's k less than or equal to c plus 3. So what does this do? So we're counting the number of times that C1 occurs and counting the number of times that C2 occurs and returning if they're equal. So I would say we are check whether a string has the same number of occurrences of ch1 as ch2. And I guess there wasn't a question number 4 there. Cool. Well, that more or less covers it.